Well, you see their lines, and they're forming around the country, undocumented immigrants lining up, registering for a new program, brand new, that went into effect today, that will keep them from being deported again. There's specifics attached to this. They had to come here as kids under the age of 16, and as we talked about, they have to either be employed, in school, kept the nose out of trouble here, and you're looking at hundreds of people just in Chicago last night signing up for the program, and there's debates as to how big a population this may be available to, but many people saying 1 million is probably a good number to start with. All right, we're going to bring in the calls, and we're also going to read some comments online. First, though, let's start with Dan. Dan's calling us from New Jersey. What do you think, Dan? Is this a good first step, or do you think this sends the wrong message?
Yeah, I see this as a very good step. I know it's a bigger problem than this is solving, but let's give these people the opportunity through legal means to become citizens. This has been a problem we've been dealing with for decades, and at least we're doing something. At least I'm going to give Obama credit to at least be doing something. It's a very difficult topic, especially with the way Congress is so divided over this thing.
I think that's an excellent point you make, Dan, to get anything through Congress. If you saw the cover of the USA Today, there was a big number of 61. That's the number of bills that were passed, the lowest number in recent memory. It's just such a toxic environment, and I think you hit it on the head. It's not a solution, it's a Band-Aid, but at least for whatever motivations, it's a beginning. All right, let me read a couple comments online. I'll bring the table in, then I'll get some more of your phone calls. Let's start off with a tweet that was sent to us from at 24ahead.com, who says, Obama's DREAM Act will screw struggling American workers, most of them Dems. On the other side of this, from Facebook, we get this from Lee Evans, who says, it's not just good, it's essential. It may not go far enough, but at least a baby step in the right direction, long overdue. And I guess, Ed, the point that I would say that I understand usually debates, but on this one it seems a pretty easy one, is there's a distinction between young strivers and criminal aliens. Nobody's going to say, with all the thresholds that were put in place, these are bad kids who snuck under the border when they were 25 in the dark of night. These were kids who, by definition, didn't come here by themselves. They were brought here, and they've been pretty good American non-citizens while they've been.
Sure, let's expedite their legal immigration. Let's get them back on the other side of the line. Let's not open up the gate precipitously, and let's have an orderly, expedited
But people are getting
immigration.
deported now. That's why this was put in place.
Well, he can executive order his way around the administration of the executive branch.
Right now, people are getting deported now. And
right, but he can issue an executive order. The president can to administer
really
immigration.
Well here. To basically, now give the king, make the president basically.
No,
a
it's
king
his
with
branch
fiat.
of government. Administration's his job. That's what he's supposed to do.
If the
It's his job.
Republican,
Execute the laws.
I think Tom made this point, if the Republican couldn't get it past his fellow Republicans, what's Obama going to do? And you have people whose lives are on the line. I'm not saying open up the door and let everybody in. I'm not saying that it should be made easier for criminals if we're talking, and that's not what we're talking about right here. I don't even want to make a possible connection.
Right, just the idea.
But these are kids. These are kids that are already here.
But Dominic, to take the Republicans out of the equation, because I keep hearing this argument, if this was such an important issue to the president...
I know. Why didn't he do it in the first 2 years?
Yeah, why didn't he? Why didn't he? Because he's a political hack.
Time out.
He's no different than anybody else. But he was going to be the new generation of politicians. He didn't do it. And that's the shame of it all.
But the phony of what that is
what is it?
The critics of him say that he's the most activist president here, that he's doing so many things.
Who said that?
Oh, please, would you stop
I don't think he's done anything.
Healthcare.
That's it. He's done Obamacare.
That's not a long list.
It's not a long list of what
Dominic,
he's done.
my friend, am I having amnesia here about
When's the last bill
activist
signing you've
president
seen?
who's trying to
And
radically
not only
reshape
that,
America?
these are Republicans that from day one met privately to figure out how to stymie this
Objective
president
number one, to get him unelected.
and block him at every step of the way.
Come on.
Every administration does that. What does that mean? You think Tip O'Neill didn't sit around with his friends and
He
actually over drinks. Jefferson. With drinks, Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan got stuff done. So let's not pretend like there isn't a big old compromise.
No, but let's pretend that, listen, they did politics the right way. They killed each other during the day, and at night they sat down and drank and said, okay, actually, how are we going to run this thing?
And you really think he's got a partner in the House here to do that with?
Well, he went golfing with John Boehner, but every time you turn around, all they do is just kill.
Right,
I mean, that's all they do.
Let
me bring in a couple more calls here. Let's go to Terry. Terry's calling us from New York. Go ahead, Terry, you're on the line.
Yes, guys, I think this is a very valid point. I think for many reasons. We've been arguing this for the last 30 years, as one of you guys said there. We had no practical solution. So if we just pay a little attention to the practicality of what we're doing here, it's a small step in the right direction. We don't need to argue this politically. We just need to look at the practical side of what it's doing. These folks are here. If we don't give them a door, what's going to happen with the intelligence they have? They're going to use it in a negative way. So I think it's a totally good thing. It doesn't set a precedent because of a 2 years situation. Most of the folks who come to this country knows how difficult it will be going forward. So this is something great. I don't think people are looking to come to the United States. They have very good information. It's very difficult here.
Yeah. Terry, you know what? I want you to think about recent things that we've seen. How about don't ask, don't tell? Remember how the furor and the fights over that before it went through. Now nobody talks about it. I think if you do this, and people will see, these will be some of the most patriotic people you're going to find in this country. You want to sign somebody who's going to take their hat off at a ball game and salute the flag. It's somebody who fought harder than any of us had to come here, potentially. And I think you've seen throughout history some of the greatest, most patriotic people and people who love this country are people who have struggled, fought, and clawed, have a perspective of where they came from, and enjoy that make this country the best country on the planet. So for me, I think 2 years from now, some people who might be critical of this might look and say, no big thing. And I think that's where
it is no big deal. Because you're absolutely right about that. I mean, these are young people who want to be Americans. Unfortunately, they were given a bad lot. They came here illegally by no choice of their own. And to give them an opportunity to know who they now are and give them an opportunity for citizenship, there is no downside for our country.
Tom Doherty, voice of reason. That's the last time I'll say this tonight here. Trust me. All right.